Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and thank you for joining this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Lord knows things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed with all that is America's team. As we sit 181 days, 12 hours, 42 minutes away from kickoff of the 2018 season. And here we just sit, just a few days from the kickoff of the league year. And we've got all kinds of stuff going on. It's hard to believe it's the offseason in the NFL, but the NFL is not like any other league as teams jockey for positions. There's word that the Buffalo Bills have the inside track for AB. And if you don't think that that would be the Pittsburgh Steelers doing the equivalent of the Russians sending somebody to Siberia, it is. The Pittsburgh Steelers are biting the bullet and having to take about a $21 million hit on dead money. They don't like their laundry being put out in the streets. They're not doing AB any favors whatsoever. Yeah, they'll take the pick. They'll get him off the team, but they want to make sure that he suffers and does not get what he wants. And in the end, I hope he gets paid, because chances of winning the Super Bowl and all that, I just don't see it with the Bills. But hey, what do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll and a day job. But right now, players that are free agents out there are doing everything they can to get ready for the season, to try and find that perfect fit, try and get that big payday. We know Cole Beasley, he wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys, but he wants to be respected with that $20 million. We know David Irving is not going to pay on a franchise tag. He wants to get paid, as well as a lot of guys. What these guys do on a daily, weekly basis to be able to perform for our entertainment is unbelievable. You may think it's the off season. It's not for these guys. They're getting their bodies operated on. They're, going through rehab. They're working out today, right now. It is a 365-day-a-year job. At least most of them are. David Irving, who's no longer a Dallas Cowboy, who didn't realize he wasn't a Dallas Cowboy, last night on Instagram decided to announce his unofficial retirement. Let's go to the tape here, and you guys can see it for yourself.
That's the blunt, bro. It's too weed, you're addicted to this and that. I mean, shit, if I'm going to be addicted to something, I'd rather be marijuana, which is medical. It's a medicine. I do not consider it a drug, rather than the Xanax bars or the Hydros or the Seroquel and all that crazy shit that they feed you, So like I said, it ain't about smoking weed. How many NBA players you see getting in trouble about this? How many coaches you see getting in trouble about this? How many baseball players get in trouble? How many UFC players getting in trouble? How many actors? How many people get?
Well, this is true. But the difference for the coaches and the NBA players and actors and stuff, the rules are different. And I understand, because you see that? This is 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. The doctor gave me 4 refills of this, which are good for a year. And what this is basically 1 tablet is the equivalent of taking 4 regular ones. And you're supposed to take 1 every 8 hours for pain. So when you start thinking about taking 12, and sometimes when my knees really act up, I double it up and take 2. So when you start thinking about a lot of the opioids that they get Percocet and things like that. There is a point to what he's saying. There's a lot of players out there that smoke weed. If you think that David Irving and Randy Gregory are the only two that do, you are sadly mistaken. The reality is the rules are the rules, and you get tested one time until you get in the system. And it's not so much about smoking the weed, it's about the way you go about the rest of football. If you look at Randy Gregory, who has been suspended, I think, more than anybody else for weed, where you have other people who have done things, domestic violence, drunk driving, things like that, that just get a minor infraction. In the grand scheme of things, he hasn't cussed out anybody. He hasn't not shown up for practice. He has not been belligerent. He hasn't flicked off the finger at anybody else. He still shows up for work and tries to do. He's got an issue that he's dealing with. Now, we can argue about should weed be legal or not legal? Is it better to smoke weed than it is to take these prescriptions, as we hear about people overdosing on opioids, which is becoming an epidemic? But for David Irving, the bigger issue is not the substance abuse, which maybe shouldn't be in the NFL, and the NFL and the NFLPA are already looking at this in 2022. It's more of what you've actually done on the field. The whole not showing up, the baby mama drama, and believe me, I understand about having to take care of your kids. But when you get paid $2.4 million, you can find somebody to babysit so you can work out. You see what I'm saying? I was bankrupt and, stealing cable from the neighbors and having to work and raise two kids. So from the grand scheme of things, I think he just no longer had the desire really to be a football player. And it's tragic because he was gifted on the field. You can't tell me if he had not focused in on playing with his size, his ability to be suspended and show up for 8 games and have 7 sacks. Unbelievable talent. But having talent isn't the be-all, end-all. You have to want to do something with that talent. And that's why sometimes you see people who have lesser talent succeed when you look at him and say, that guy's he's not the right size, the build, he's slow, Why is he successful? Because he has desire and a will to win and to be the best and works at it every single day. I hope David Irving finds what he's looking for, and I hope that he's not going to end up being one of those guys that when he's done with football, he apparently is done with football because the league year starts next week, he's already suspended indefinitely, that he doesn't wake up and decide, damn, what did I do? And it's too late. I always live my life so that I'm never that guy sitting in a bar, on a bar stool saying, I could have, would have, should have been. Because I'm going to be sure that I go out and work every day to try and achieve my dreams. And I don't know what his dreams are. Like I said, I wish him the best of whatever he does and that he finds that thing. We know he's been doing acting in New York. Maybe that's the role for him. But we're going to start dealing now with the Dallas Cowboys. He's no longer a Dallas Cowboy player, so I am done officially with David Irving. We're going to have 53 players on our roster this year. We don't know what 53 they're going to be. We are going to find out a lot in the next 2 weeks as free agency starts on Monday, legal tampering. And I still believe Earl Thomas will be a Dallas Cowboy. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think he's going to get $15 million later on, because the value of safeties has gone way down, as you can see. Cole Beasley, don't know if they're going to work that one out, but we'll have to wait and see. But as always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Oh, before I go, all right, we're getting the set together. We're getting close. I have almost everything hooked back up. Got to redo the top here and try and clear some of this out so it's not quite as cluttered. And what we're going to be doing with some of this stuff, because I've got a lot of stuff, is we're going to start doing some giveaways for you guys. Some of the stuff that I have. Joseph Hartley is actually sending a whole bunch of stuff to me as well. So we're going to be spreading that mojo to you guys. And don't forget, tomorrow, Miss Jackie has the Dak Prescott shirt. Will be at Maverick Bar close to the Star between 2 and 5. So get over there, get that shirt signed. The next stop is San Antonio. From San Antonio, it's going to Tucson, Arizona. And from Tucson, it's going to LA. From LA, it's going to Seattle. So you better get on there before there's no space to put your name on it. I'm Mark Holmes, and I got to get to my day job. And I'll see you soon.